Welcome to the penultimate episode of Chai and Chill for season 2. And joining me today is somebody I've been trying to get on the show for a very long time. Our times just didn't match. Ronjabati Shorkar, or Ronja as we call her. Thank you so much for joining
Hi,
Chai and Chill. And a
thank you
little
for
bit about
having me.
you're welcome. Little bit about her. She's a video editor and she claims that is all she does. That is not true. She dog sits, she takes amazing pictures, and she travels a lot. So, and she
Oh.
yoga enthusiast. Sushi my beta beta dekh le, but okay. And so today we are going to talk about the fact that we lived alone in Alien City and we tried the most horrific thing that a 20 something could try, dating in an alien city. But before we get into that
Yeah.
conversation, here is the cup that is going to join us. I think this is my dad's cup.
Okay. Wow, that is nice.
Both cups
This is
are
my cup.
green.
Yes, green cups. Cheers, Anisha.
Cheers. Now, Ronja and I have both lived alone in Mumbai. We did have flatmates at the beginning of our journey. Different timelines, of course. My started at 2018. Yours, I think, started around 2016,
2015.
2015, even earlier.
15. Can you not hear me?
I can hear you. And so all these years of being alone in this alien city, my first question to you is, what made you zero in on Mumbai? Why Mumbai?
Well, I always wanted to be in films. I was studying films and I wanted to work in films. And this is the best place you can come to in India to work in films. So, yeah, that's why I came here. It was specifically work purpose, and also I wanted to get away from home, and the only city that I thought I could move to is Bombay,
Yeah, I
because of course again work is here. Yeah.
so as being on your own actually taught you, as we like to popularly term as adulting. Have you become successful at adulting at all?
I think I'm still adulting. I am in my adulting phase. I have not adulted yet. uh, but yeah, of course I've learned a lot about myself. I've discovered a lot. I've explored a lot more than I could have ever in Calcutta. So yeah.
Everything is
And anyway, staying alone gives you that kind of experience that you would never have with your parents around.
true,
So
very
yeah.
true. I agree wholeheartedly. So, is there one thing that has become part of your daily routine that you thought never in your life would it become a part of your daily routine because you live alone?
Cooking. Cooking. I never had to do anything at my house. I still do not have to do anything in my house if I choose not to do it. And now I choose to do it, so I do it. But generally, my mother, I think all mothers are like, no, you don't need to come into the kitchen and all that. So my mother was also like that. So yeah, but I have never had a cook. I have had a cook for a very brief period of time when I was staying with another one flatmate. So she and I were sharing the cost. That's why I thought it was a good idea. But then that food also started becoming monotonous after a point of time. So then, yeah, and then after that, I just started cooking, and I am a very easy-going cook. I don't like do a lot of what like not a lot of ingredients and not a lot of masala and oil and not and preparations that do not take a lot of time. I do that kind of cooking. So just yeah.
I don't think
So
I
I
would.
can literally survive on like literally anything. I don't really need fancy. But then yeah, of course I do fancy meals once in a while when I have the money and when I have the craving because I like to eat. So
Okay.
yeah.
You can make fancy meals at home because all I know how to cook are fancy meals. And that is why I don't think a cook will ever work out for me because I will not be able to eat that regular food. The two times I did cook in
Hmm.
Calcutta, like, this is what you
Yeah,
eat in
I have also. Yeah, I have also tried dabbas here, but even they get very it tastes the same after a point of time, and there is no variation, and you really need that.
Cooking, as you know, is something that I picked up during the global pandemic that happened because I was at home, didn't have a lot of time. Did had too much of time on my hands, I should add, so I started cooking. But speaking of, you recently quit your day job and you decided to transition into a freelancer full time. And you did this
Yeah.
in the middle of a global pandemic where people were like, "What is wrong with you?" But how did that whole thing work out for you in the long run?
No, so no, yeah, global pandemic, yes, but not in between a lockdown. I did it right before the second phase of lockdown was starting.
I
I
remember.
started freelancing full time in January, mid January. So I had no idea that this lockdown is going to happen. So now I have to see how I survive this one. But till now, though, I have had an okay amount of work. So the thing is that my career graph has been going pretty well. I don't want to jinx it, but it has been
Good.
going pretty well till now because I started as a full timer and I did that for 7 8 years. So now and in Bombay alone I have done it for 5 years. So now I know a handful of people who would like to work with me, who kind of we shared the same ideas and all that. So that is the reason I still have work coming, thankfully. But now that lockdown has started, shoots have stopped. So I do not know what the future holds for me. But yeah, but the transition was pretty smooth because I had planned to quit my job a year ago,
Hmm.
but that did not happen because a very good project had come up at the job that I was doing at the time. So I continued with the project. And by the time the project ended, we realized that there was coronavirus and that there is a probability that a lockdown is going to happen. So I completely postponed my idea. I said, no, 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 I'm not going to quit now because I really need the money.
Yeah,
Also, because I was not sure if I can survive as a freelancer. But then 1 year later, I thought, yeah, it is time. And I quit. Finally, I quit my job.
amazing. So
Yeah,
before we
so far,
go,
so good. So
yeah,
let's see.
before we go into the second half, suddenly something struck me that we should have known each other in college. We went to college for 5 years next door to each other. Then,
Yeah,
and I know you were in the English department. I was in the
on the same floor in the same
yeah
building.
comparative literature department. But how does somebody who was studying English honors go from there to becoming a video editor?
Uh, so yeah, that's a very interesting story, I would think, because so it happened. This decision that I wanted to be a video editor happened on one in a day's course, in exactly 1 day's course. I was at so I my father wanted me to be an engineer, but I did very badly, and I did very badly on purpose because I did not want to do engineering. So I applied for English everywhere.
Oh,
And the day before the counseling, engineering counseling was happening, English admission was happening in Jadavpur University. So I cleared the test and everything, and English admission was happening. We were standing in a queue, and they were passing around a sheet of paper, which was basically the list of extra departmental courses, which is
ah,
the past course that we had.
I remember.
And that sheet comes to me, and they tell me that you have to choose two subjects. And I'm going through the subjects, and then I say films, and I'm like, oh shit, they have films. And I immediately run to the senior who was coordinating all of this. That do you have a film studies department here which gives graduation? Because at that moment I'm like, oh shit, I lost 3 years of film studies because I really wanted to go to a film school, but film school is expensive.
Yeah, no,
So
you did.
I quit that idea. I was like, huh. So I was like, no, I don't think I can go. So I'll try the longer route. I'll do literature. I'll meet some people. I'll try and find my way in films or not. Maybe not. That's like a one-off thing. If it happens, it happens, guys. But when I saw this, I went to the senior, and the senior is like, no, 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 don't worry. There is no graduation course. It's only a master's course, so you can chill. So I'm like, okay. And I set it right then and there. I will have to anyhow pass through 3 years. And masters, I'm doing film studies. I am not doing anything else. And yeah, and I always knew that I want, if I do anything in films, I would want to do editing, because I thought that would come easy to me, and somehow it does.
Yeah.
Because the other things are quite like cinematography is very technical. You need a camera for that, and my father would never buy me a camera, and I would never even ask him for it. For a director, you need to be a very good storyteller, and I'm not sure I'm a very good verbal storyteller. I give away the punchline in the first line of a joke, so so that was not happening. So yeah, so I had written down all these options one by one, and editing seemed to be the one that I could do. And yeah, so I studied films, and eventually I started looking for jobs as an editor. I did assistant direction for a couple of years while I was studying, to just gain the experience on how it is on set and everything. And then yeah, then I found an assistant editor's job that would pay me nothing for the first 4 months. They had told me that it's a 2 months internship. And then they made me do a 4 months internship. And after that, also, they would pay me like nothing. But then, of course, I learned a lot there. They taught me everything that I needed to learn. And then I came to Bombay. Yeah.
Amazing graph. I never actually asked you that how did you go from there to there, because we kept talking about, hey, we were in the same college for 5 years but never really spoke
Yeah.
about what were we doing in
Our
those.
classrooms for the first semester also shared the same wall, by the way.
Yeah, they did.
So yeah.
There are a lot of people I keep meeting and you were at there same time, same batch. Why do I not know you? Because I used to not be in college. I was too busy, right? Now jumping from the first half of our conversation to the second half, which is
Yes.
the other part of being on your own dating. It's too hard, it's too easy, God knows what is going on. It's so complicated at the same time. So when did you first decide to give this weird dating thing a shot?
So I moved to Bombay, and when I moved to Bombay, I had a stable relationship, which if it was going on till date, I would have been married by now. But within 1.5 years of moving here, we broke up, and I had a major breakdown. I did not really have friends outside work, because it was really, I don't think it was even 1.5 years. I think it was exactly 1 year after. But in that 1 year, I was so busy working that I did not make friends outside work. So my work friends were only my friends, my personal life friends also. So we were in the office. The bosses were gone, and me and my colleague were sitting, who was also my friend. And he looks at me and he's like, "Ronja, what happened to you? Are you okay?" And obviously, because I've broken up and I'm sad, my face is not smiley. And he asks me that question, and I just break down. I just start crying. And he sees that and he gets a little uncomfortable, and he's like, "Ronja, you need to start dating. You need to start dating. You need to get on Tinder." And right before that, for some time, we have been talking about Tinder, because that guy had recently joined Tinder and he was just exploring his options and all that. And at that time, I was like, who goes on Tinder? Why would you ever do that to yourself? Or do you have no self-respect? And all of those lectures I used to give him. And then cut to this evening where he tells me, "Ronja, you have to open Tinder." He takes my phone, downloads it, and installs it, and says, "I can't log in for you because you need your Facebook details and everything. Please, but just please do yourself a favor. Please do this. At least to keep your mind off things." So I gave it a thought, and I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll just do it." But dating sites have always happened to me when I am like bored to the power infinity. Every time I'm bored with life and I have nothing to do, I will go on a dating app and find myself somebody to talk to for a while. If it is interesting enough, maybe I'll take it ahead to meet the person or something. But otherwise, But yeah, that because I broke up with the person and I was too sad, I was too lonely, I got on Tinder. So yeah,
Oh, that's sad.
that's how I.
But that is how most people get on dating apps because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I had just broken up when I moved to Bombay, and the first thing I did was I downloaded Hinge, went on
Hmm.
a date.
the
2 years later,
first day I went on, the first date I went on was my rebound.
damn. So no, the
So
first date
yeah.
I went on wasn't my rebound, but is now my stable boyfriend. So I don't know. I don't know how that works. Do not ask me the maths. I have stopped thinking about it.
Yeah.
To, okay, to drive
So
for this spicy conversation, what is one of the absolute worst dates you've been on? You tell me yours, and I'll tell you my absolute worst date.
okay. So this was one date with a Marathi guy. We were meeting at Dulali.
Uh-huh.
So the guy, uh, I did not. I met him on OkCupid. So I was done with Tinder. I was like, Tinder. After a point of time, it was like, oh no, are there no good guys anymore on Tinder? So let's try something else.
Hmm.
And then OkCupid came along because my sister was like, OkCupid is huge in the US and all that. It's also picking up in India. You should try. So I went on OkCupid. Awful matches I got. Awful. And OkCupid has a very bad way of matching you with other people. So you get like 100 messages in a minute.
I see.
So however, from those 100 messages, I found one guy who looked a little good. So my major criteria, as everybody knows, has to be good looking. The guy has to be good looking. Doesn't matter he earns money, he doesn't earn money. Doesn't matter what happens. Good looks is first. So I found one good looking guy on OkCupid, and I start talking to him. And he's interesting. He can hold a conversation. Everything is fine. So we decide to meet. We meet at Dulali. Now, the only words that evening I had said was, "Hi, how are you?"
Huh?
Okay, I will sit here. That's it. Rest of the conversation was only him talking about everything that he knew about the world. He did not let me speak. The only thing I could do was, oh, okay. Oh, acha. Oh, is that so? Exactly. This is what I did all evening. No scope for me to talk about anything else. He had no interest in asking me what I needed or what I wanted to talk about. No, he just did what he had to do. Just talk and talk and talk. And not even, it was not even that he was talking about personal stuff or something. He was sharing something about his life. He was talking some history shit. Like, why people do cheers. He started from there. Why people. So obviously, you take a drink. The first thing you do is you cheer, right? You say cheers.
Hmm.
I wanted to do that, and he stopped me and said, "No, I can't do it. Do you know why it was even done?" And I was like, "Oh shit, I'm so dumb. Why did I even try to do that?"
You're
And
not dumb.
then he gives
It's
me,
weird.
yeah. That is something I thought in my head. And then he gives me a proper explanation. This used to happen in World War II or something. And then from there started his history lesson. Oh my god, yeah. It was a long night, but
I can see that. That it has done a number on you. Because clearly, the first thing when I said that worst date, your mind jumps to that. It's okay.
what does your mind jump to?
Oh, there were there was this one date I remember we'd gone on. They have not even ordered the starter, and the guy goes, "So when do you want to marry me?" I'm like, yeah, I'm running for the hills. Goodbye. I just met
Oh
you.
my
What is
god.
wrong with you?
I think he confused you with the girl he was planning on meeting from Shadi.com.
I think so too. See, now
Wow.
mentioned we mentioned Tinder, we mentioned OkCupid. Now there is also Bumble and there is Hinge and there is God knows
Hinge.
how many apps are out there. So the
Yeah.
problem I personally feel is there are too many apps. It's like Swiggy for people. It sounds bad, it sounds wrong, but So the thing is, the person in front of you, when you have a fight and it's the initial stages of a relationship, you're like, I don't want to work on this. I will just go online,
And
find
then
someone
move
else,
on to, yeah,
and talk to another person.
yeah, true. Very true.
So, but all things said and done, despite all the bad experiences, despite comparing dating apps to Swiggy for people, sometimes we do stumble across people who are good and we do meet them on dating apps. And it might not be somebody you keep in your life as a boyfriend or as a date, but they do become your friends. Any experiences like that where they just became.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, in fact, last year only I met this one guy. He, I think he'll be very happy if I take his name. His name is Alvin. So
Wow.
Alvin studies in Germany. Now he's finished his education. So last year he was in his last year of college, and just right before the lockdown, he and his friends came back, and he's from Kerala. He and his friends came back to Kerala, but it was lockdown, right? So
Hmm.
we started talking. Somehow we matched because for some time he used to stay in Pune. So I think that is how it happened, or I don't know how. But we matched and we started talking. But obviously, it was clear. It was very clear that nothing can happen because he is in Kerala, and from Kerala he's going back to Germany, and it's also a lockdown. There is no chance we can meet.
Yeah.
Although we had planned that we can go on a trip, and I could go to Kerala, and then we can take the trip together or something, which we had planned for July last year. But it of course never happened because the lockdown never opened.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that turned into that eventually turned out to be a very nice friendship.
Friendship. Yeah.
We still talk. We talk once in a while. He's back in Germany right now. He keeps inviting me to Germany, but of course, Europe is expensive. so so uh, yeah, we keep talking. Like once in a while, we talk. We take a download of each other's lives, what we are doing, and all that. And yeah, I think I share with him a lot. He shares with me a lot of our personal life, family things, and all of that. So yeah, I have made some. I think this is one guy I have made really good friends with. There were some others, but they kind of although those friendships have kind of faded away
Mhm.
in this busy lifestyle that we have. But yeah, but some people have kept in touch. Yes.
Yeah, they do that.
Have you do you have a friend like that?
Uh, Lots of them actually. You know, the dating series that we were talking about, the podcast series.
Hmm.
I actually messaged a lot of them saying that you have stories for me, and all of them replied saying that yes. And this is around 5 to 6 people. I was just do not put my story in it. I am okay with the rest of it. But these are people. So the thing is, when I first came to Bombay, I would match with people, I would talk to people, and then I would just not have the time to meet them. So it just became friendships at that point of time because
Yeah,
and also
exactly.
because I was so new in the city, constantly they were like, "Do you need help? Do you need help?" Even when I shift abhi, they keep asking me, "Do you need help? Should I help you?" So
Hmm.
it's sweet.
Yeah, I think if not anything else, so these dating apps are very good for meeting new people because otherwise in our schedule we don't ever go out like properly out to meet
Uh,
somebody,
I used to.
and our friends are very lazy to like put up on blind dates or anything. That is like a concept gone.
I don't really think that's true because I'm sorry to all our friends. I do not want to be set up by any of them.
I would have loved to be. I was set up once by a friend of mine, but it turned out to be a horrible date because that person never listened to what my requirements in a guy are. So, owing to her bad listening skills, that date turned out to be horrible. But yeah,
Yeah. See, the only setup I see is
but
Adrija
I
who
wouldn't
got us
mind if
together.
somebody
So
set me up with someone. Yeah, yeah. This friendship setting up has happened also a lot of times in my life, but only no boys setting up has ever.
So this has been one of the toughest times to live through, right? So it has been to be able to survive and then thrive is another whole different ball game. So it is a blessing that we are able to do what we do and we can do it from the we are able to do
Right.
what we do and we have been able to do it from the comfort of our homes. And there was a time when we were also feeling really lonely and really heartbroken. So if anybody who's listening to us or watching this and they are feeling the same way and going, you are talking about dating, I can't even step out of my house. Anything you want to tell these people?
No, I think just talking to someone else helps. No, I think talking to somebody new helps. I mean, yeah, and or there's obviously virtual dating is there. You can definitely get on a video call with the person. I know it's awkward. It was very awkward for me also for the first time when I randomly went on a video call with a stranger that I've never met before in real life.
Mm,
But you kind of ease into it, and I think it's fine. And yeah, just because when you're talking to somebody new who doesn't know you, you can start from a clean slate without them, like, having some preconceived notions in their head about you. Except for obviously they have read that bio that you have written. So make sure your bio doesn't give out a lot of bad ideas about you. But yeah, other than that, I think I find it very nice to be talking to. So you start talking to five people, and then one person, at least out of those five people, stick to the conversation. They listen to you and they answer to you and they are prompt enough. And that conversation, I think, even if it is just for one night or one day, but it
mm.
still is, it like takes your mind off certain things that you do not want to pay attention to at that point of time. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
But
I
this
think.
preconceived notion it works not only for relationships, it's also for friendships. So
Yeah.
it's difficult to hold on to your older friends because if they don't give you the space to grow, you do
Hmm.
tend to fall apart. Whereas for a new person, they don't know who you are. So it is also a chance for you to discover things about yourself that you did not know. Like the one thing that all
Yeah,
of you told
exactly.
me is how scary I am. And my so that is something I have become over the years. I used to be extremely domitable. People would walk all over me,
Hmm.
and I don't think I will stand that behavior right now at all.
Which is good. I still let people walk all over me. So yeah, I think I have to learn that from
Yeah, I think we are all a little protective of you. Like, wait, I will go snarl at this person, and like, don't do it.
you.
Okay, guys, I think we are at the end of our conversation. Thank you so much for being here. Ronja does have a YouTube series, by the way, Food Hill Station, Mumbai. I will link it here, but there is only
Which
one.
I only, which yeah, which there's only one episode. I do not have the dedication and
It is
patience
not
and all the
dedication.
good things
Okay, it is
and
not
motivation.
dedication. Being able to manage your time well. That's it.
Yeah, I can't manage my time very well as well. Thank you, Anisha, for saying that.
You are dedicated, you are motivated. Otherwise, nobody goes out in the sun during the lockdown and films so many hours of. She has hours of content, by the way. So comment down below and tell her to put up her series up.
Yeah, I have the content short. I just don't have the time to edit it.
Yeah, and I'm going to hope that things go back to normal soon so that we can go on our adventure that constantly gets postponed.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's do that, please. Let's do that. But yeah. But before that, I will see you in Bombay.